What could or should we have done differently? How could we have changed the course of COVID here?
I think we could have started at the very beginning, identifying the problem. We have the knowledge to say we don't know the specifics of this particular novel coronavirus, but we generally know. We could have had clear communication across, I'm just talking inside the United States now, but it applies globally. Clear communication from the very top down, admit what we don't know, but communicate effectively what we do. Develop a narrative. I would have used a wartime narrative. We are asking for the common defense of our nation. We're asking for every American to do their part to defend. And that means the commander-in-chief has to stand up and take that leadership role, but also local leaders need to do the same as well. And then we needed to make decisions early. The hard part of a pandemic is you have to make decisions because of exponential growth before it's evident to the full population. That takes leadership. That's what we have leaders for, to make those tough decisions that may get criticized in the moment, but are necessary long term. Well,
General, obviously you know a lot about Afghanistan as much as anyone after having commanded there, and without, we always talk about it, without individuals, we don't know where we get individuals like you. Certainly not. I didn't have the cut of my cloth to so we thank you for that. But you told Joe Scarborough that when you did work with President Obama and Vice President Biden when you were in Afghanistan, that they always listened to you. They didn't do everything you wanted, but in every instance, they listened to you. We now know that with the exit from Afghanistan and the chaos that we recently saw, that the President Biden did not listen to the generals. Do you agree with that?
Well, Joe, thanks for the kind words about me first. And they did listen to me. Again, they didn't always do what I recommended. I think that's what happened. I wasn't in the room for this latest iteration, but my sense is that the military leadership, DOD, got the chance to voice their positions. The president then is not necessarily in a position to accept those and follow those recommendations. It is defined as best military advice. And then the commander-in-chief has to make the decision. Where I would have been upset is if I felt like they didn't give me a hearing.
Do you, having blood, sweat, and tears and what we went through for 20 years, what are your feelings for the way things ended there, General? It must be, you tell me, what are your feelings for the way things ended there and the way it ended?
Yeah, a sense of loss, probably like every veteran, military or civilian who was involved in some way there, a sense of loss and a sense of failure. We didn't accomplish what we wanted to, and now the Afghan people are in a very difficult position. I would have recommended a different course of action to the president, but I respect the fact that if the process goes and we get one, then we execute the best that we can. Now I really think we need to decide what we're going to do going forward. I think we still have some kind of moral connection and commitment to the Afghan people, the females. I think what we can do within a realm to pressure the Taliban regime over time is going to be key. And then, of course, we'll take on the counter-terrorist requirements as they surface.
General, just in terms of the risk that we face right now, I'll bring this back to the markets in a conversation we've been having about the debt limit. We're getting awfully close to hitting that debt limit. Today is October 7th, and I think October 18th is the date. Yesterday, the Secretary of Defense said that national security could be threatened if they don't pass the debt limit, that the troops might not get paid in that situation. Does it make you nervous, or is this an example of where we don't manage risks very well, where we're our own worst enemies?
It's a perfect example. There's a saying in the military, when your enemy's making a mistake, don't interrupt him. And if I were one of our enemies now, I would just be sitting back and not touching anything, because we've got our weapon pointed at our own foot and we're about to pull the trigger.
General McChrystal, I want to thank you very much for being with us this morning, and also want to echo my thanks for your service, sir. We really appreciate it, and thank you for being here.